There is one source I like to turn to find new, exciting underground extreme metal music. It is not Watch Mojo, because that would be like trying to get a list of the best underground nightclubs from your grandmother. For those who are unfamiliar, the Watch Mojo channel on YouTube is basically your wine aunt who thinks she's still hip. They are a pop culture channel that do really generic best of lists, nowhere near as good as mine. And not to be rude, but they are super vanilla. And they just uploaded a video titled The Top 20 Best Modern Metal Bands. So I thought it could be fun to go over this video together and see if Watch Mojo actually does have good bands to recommend. Probably not. I haven't seen the video yet, so this is going to be a live reaction, but I can guarantee it's going to be entirely mainstream metalcore, deathcore, all the bands you've heard of. Spiritbox, Gojira, Slaughter to Prevail. Whether you like those bands or not, I'm just saying it's going to be a very expected list. But who knows, maybe there'll be a really badass curveball. Maybe Watch Mojo hired a broke metalhead desperate for a job. So pull up a seat, get comfortable, and let's see what the view of YouTube has to say about modern metal. So headbang the like button, stage dive on the subscribe button, and windmill the video to your friends. And if you're a fan of the channel, consider becoming a member. Memberships only cost 99 cents a month, and each one really helps me toward my lifelong goal of creating a life-size Godzilla to invade Canada. Alright, this is my first time watching this. Let's go.
Welcome to Watch
I'm gonna have to edit the shit out of this video to avoid copyright.
Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the most
obviously Ghost is gonna be on here. I think that's a given. Do they qualify as a metal band? Debatable. Let me know what you think in the comments.
unique and thrilling metal bands to be formed since the 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, that one's pretty obvious.
Number 20, Bring Me the Horizon.
Are they even a metal band? Haven't they changed their sound enough to where it's kind of debatable?
They may not be as metal
I'm not expecting any, like, underground good music.
as they used to be, but Bring Me the Horizon is where extreme meets commercial appeal. The British outfit didn't have much of the latter in their
The very first thing they mentioned in the video is commercial appeal.
early rendition of melodic deathcore. With encouragement from producer Frederick Nordstrom, they gradually adopted a more mainstream, alternative sound.
Basically, if a band is mentioned on Watch Mojo, that's your cue to say that you don't like them anymore. You only listen to their first album and then they sold out. Seeing a band pop up on this channel is the digital version of walking in on your preppy sister listening to Slipknot. If you can't tell, I was never into Bring Me the Horizon. Don't think I ever will be. No, sorry.
Seldom heard in an extreme act this hot.
Every band on this list is going to be way overproduced.
Number 19, Lorna Shore.
Exactly what I just said. Right? I couldn't have been timed more perfectly.
Something about being named after one of Batman's girlfriends sets the tone for this New Jersey group's dark contrasts.
I did not know that. See, I am learning things. Thanks, Watch Mojo. Lorna Shore, I get it. They're really heavy. You know, very talented band. I remember when they blew up on Instagram and social media and everyone freaked out at how heavy the breakdowns were. And I was this song and I was like, it's not bad, but it's fine. I don't know. Always came off very trendy to me, meaning on a time limit.
Fire double bass. It's all so beautifully brutal, captivating critics with elaborate compositions.
See, what did I say? If a band pops up on here, it's basically you're having Thanksgiving dinner and then your cousin on the cheerleading team goes, have you heard of this band Lorna Shore?
And bleak philosophical lyrics. The band then became a viral sensation after the Spotify hit To the Hellfire was named the best metal track of 2021.
That wasn't a Spotify hit, that was a TikTok hit, let's be honest here. It's weird for me listening to them. It's heavy, they're talented, the songs are constructed well, but it just does not blend well. It just does not marinate with me. I don't hate them, but I don't listen to them either.
Number 18, Deathklok.
Come on! I understand they tour. I've seen them live. It's cool. You're really gonna put that on best metal bands? Struggling that hard for a top 20 list? You went to a fucking cartoon? Really?
Small created the virtual band Deathklok as the focus of metal.
They are good. Like, if you see them live, it's a great show, but really? I would think of 30 real bands before I'd put a fucking cartoon on the list.
Metalocalypse. Both the twisted animated sitcom and its soundtrack were praised for their spoof of mainstream death metal tropes. And
Metalocalypse was only good for the first 2 seasons anyway. Everyone in bands that's been struggling for like 10 years or so, just trying to play every show and tour and get your music out there, how does it feel to know that on the top 20 best modern metal bands is a cartoon? A good cartoon. but a cartoon.
Charts. Their live performances are also a must-see spectacle,
They
with
are
much
fun.
stricter safety measures than
He's
the
great.
concerts on the show. Although Metalocalypse was canceled in 2013, Deathklok continues to rule and riff.
Probably think of several bands that started after 2013 that you could have put on this list. I'm not trying to shit on Brendan Small or anything like that, but come on. Come on.
Number 17, Volbeat.
Volbeat stopped being a metal band in 2012. Let's be real. Volbeat was such a weird case because I really liked their early stuff and it was like actually metal and blues. And then it just got super mainstream. They toured with him. They co-headlined with him.
So far as to incorporate elements of groove, hard rock, and even rockabilly. The skilled musicianship of
There's occasionally a song they'll come out with that I do still enjoy, but it's not the... Am I wrong here? It's not the same. When it was like 2008 to 2010, Volbeat was exciting, and then they got super mainstream. But I mean, popular-wise, cool. Music-wise, yeah.
Even though their eclectic sound has softened a bit over time, Volbeat remains
A bit.
a favorite among hard rock
The
and metal
fuck is
traditionalists.
I haven't seen that video. I don't know what the hell's happening.
Number 16, Spiritbox.
That was an obvious one. Spiritbox I like more than Lorna Shore. It just doesn't get that deep for me. It's like, okay, it's cool, heavy parts. I saw them live once, wasn't bad at all. But I think I'm just not a fan of the overproduction that so much metal has. Every band that's going to be on this list definitely has. I like raw, grinding, heavy, hard-hitting shit, just like your mom.
This seems to be the philosophy on which she and her guitarist husband, Mike Stringer, founded their band after they left I Wrestled a Bear Once.
Spiritbox is far better than that piece of shit band was.
Spiritbox is a mind-bending blend of modern metal styles, mixed with electronics and contemporary.
I do feel like modern metal is a good term for all of these bands. Some of these bands, like Spiritbox is a pretty good example, really push the limit of what is considered metal to where they just kind of branch out of it. So I've been thinking there should be a new term for this type of music. Because if you show someone a modern Bring Me the Horizon song, are you really going to be like, this is an accurate representation of metal music? So I feel like the term modern metal is kind of a good non-biased definition of this highly overproduced, overrated genre. Anyway.
R&B. The progressive product caught metal fans' attention with particular praise toward LaPlante's stellar, clean, and harsh vocals.
Spiritbox is 100% a band sitting at Thanksgiving dinner, and then your aunt will be like, oh, did you hear of this band? I think it's Spiritbox? Spirit Guys? Spirit Cloud? I heard they're a good metal band. You like metal, right?
Number 15, While She Sleeps.
I have never even heard of this band. That sounds creepy.
There's been no rest for one of the UK's leading metalcore acts.
They look pretty how I expected.
This was just the culmination of While She Sleeps' cult following after years of touring the scene. This modern sound and its organic progression across a regular output have earned the band consistent acclaim.
They sound like they'd be played in the side of a Hot Topic.
Number 14, Alter Bridge.
Alter Bridge is not a metal band. They're like a hard rock, radio rock band. See? That's like saying Creed is one of the best modern metal bands.
Creed was one of the biggest acts.
You
in
used an
post-grunge.
example of Creed. You're using Creed as an example. For a modern metal, you haven't mentioned like Frozen Soul or Crypto or Dark Insanity, the fucking greatest band out right now. You mentioned a band that sounds like Creed. Now we're getting at the point Thanksgiving dinner where I start chucking mashed potatoes at you, stupid bitch.
With Miles Kennedy as their new voice.
Where's the metal? I haven't heard the metal yet. I've never heard anyone say, bro, I love metal. My favorite band is Alter Bridge.
The old school musicianship with a modern sound seems to exhilarate listeners more and more.
Not a blast beat in sight.
Alter Bridge is still going strong
I don't even think they're a horrible band. They're just not a metal band.
as a staple of 21st century rock and metal.
Bro, I love metal. My favorite band is Nickelback. What you just said, Watch Mojo.
Number 13,
Whoa!
Epica.
Whoa! I was not expecting that. Okay. Hey, credit for putting Epica 1 on the list and higher than like Spiritbox and a bunch of those other mainstream ones. I'm impressed. I love Epica. Their live album, The Classical Conspiracy, I listen to that all the time. I would love to see one of their orchestra shows. All right, you caught me by surprise. I'm impressed with that one, Watch Mojo.
Number 12, Jinjer.
I mean, I saw that one coming. Not a bad choice at all. Out of the modern metal genre, I'd say they're one of the best ones, but definitely not a surprise.
Tatiana Schmalyuk is especially recognized as one of the most versatile.
Did he say that right?
In this male-dominated genre, and with many more genres packed into progressive.
I did see Jinjer once at Aftershock last year, and I thought she had incredible stage presence. She felt very powerful and commanding on stage. I do think they're a bit overrated, but they are a very good band. Maybe not overrated, let's say overplayed.
And a long-term tour in 2022, continuing to push the boundaries of their arts and activism along the way. Number 11, The Contortionist.
Who?
It was all this freedom that time.
A variety of modern metal subgenres bent to
Where?
form The Contortionist early on. The Indiana ensemble won immediate
Fuck is this? Like a proggy indie band.
praise for their experimental and intellectual approach to progressive deathcore.
It got heavier, but still not good.
Over time, however, they've gained much more esteem for defining their own unique sound. The juxtaposition of prog rock and ambient elements with
Ugh. This sounds awful.
still pretty extreme metal would make an impression on many artists within the scene. The
No.
Contortionist's sophisticated songwriting and musicianship has unfortunately resulted in a limited output through the years. Moreover,
I don't know if that's unfortunate.
the Contortionist continues to captivate their following.
Where, in Berkeley? Like, what the fuck is this? Why would you put this on a modern metal list? You're doing well with Epica, and then what? Just That was awful.
Archspire.
Hey! How do you go from whatever the fuck that last? You went from Epica, cool, to what the hell is that? To Archspire? You're like a Bitcoin dip. You're just going and then bow, just shot right back up.
This Vancouver
I would say Archspire deserves to be on this list.
Archspire's ridiculously complicated and cosmic songwriting is not just mind-bending. They are all true virtuoso.
They are extremely talented, extremely heavy, unlike whatever the fuck last thing was they played. No, yeah, Archspire, legit.
Awards in the genre, but programming team Databots may have delivered the highest honor when they used Archspire to train an AI neural network that's been streaming since 2019.
And you're listening to
Is that a good thing?
everything it's generating. And it's generating live. Let's listen to it.
Yeah, it sounds like shit.
Number 9, Animals as Leader.
I would say that one was very expected. Not a horrible choice by any means. Not a band I listen to, but not one that I would protest being on the list. Just like Jinjer, extremely talented band. Saw this one coming a mile away on this list.
Influenced a new era of elevated metal while achieving great critical and commercial success. Abasi is even widely recognized as one of the greatest guitarists today, at least metalheads and music.
That is true.
Number 8, Tesseract.
Again, this is one I definitely saw coming a mile away. A lot of the modern metal bands, I think, are very talented and don't make bad music, but it does not connect with me. It does not seep deep. I love like groovy, grinding type shit, which there's a lot of great extreme metal bands that I would have put on this list that aren't super pretty and overproduced. Bands like Midnight and Ghoul and Gatecreeper.
7, Bad Omens.
Sad pretty boy, hip hop, R&B, metal thing.
Virginia industrial metalcore phenoms may be young, but Noah
People just like him because of
Sebastian's
TikTok.
expressed
Does anyone actually like their music? If you took out the frontman and social media and you just played the songs for these people, would it still hit the same? Or is it only because they all think that he's pretty? Which apparently he gets annoyed by.
They became rising stars on the charts and have collaborated with the likes of hyperpop star Poppy and Corey Taylor.
Everyone has collaborated with Poppy and Corey Taylor. Are you serious? That's not exactly a hard feat. I'm pretty sure they're just scrolling Instagram looking for new bands that pop up and are like, hey.
It looks like a bright future for the Bad Omens.
I haven't heard the metal yet.
Trivium.
I would say Trivium is a lot more metal than Bad Omens. I like how by modern you mean fucking 25 years old at this point.
Trivium rebooted it for a new millennium. Most of the band were still teenagers when their debut album displayed the confrontational songwriting and killer musicianship of the genre's golden age.
I remember when everyone said they were just a fucking Metallica cover band. Like then.
Trivium has since continued to evolve in exciting ways. Well,
I would say that is a band that have gotten better with their sound over time. Never been a fan. I like Matt. I think he's a cool guy, but I'm not a metalcore fan.
they're at Metal Hammer.
But their music has gone from generic shit to a lot more defined.
To both classic heavy metal and the new wave.
Holy shit! Is that Blast Beats? That is the first time I've heard Blast Beats, and it came from Trivium. Best modern metal bands. Not, here's 20 modern metal bands we picked at random. The best around.
Number 5, Architects.
Can you say that one? If you could tell me Architects, Tesseract, and the Contortionist are all the same band, I'd believe you. What's the difference? They're the same picture. I told you, all metalcore. No black metal. No exciting black metal. I know that's probably kind of hard to find in this day and age, but there's some. Where's Flesh God Apocalypse? Where's Septic Flesh? Where's Dark Insanity? We're counting all of the 2000s with you picking Trivium. Where's Sabaton? That might be on here, actually. Where's fucking anyone who actually looks metal and doesn't look like they just walked out of a fucking PacSun? Oh boy, White's talking about riots. Great.
Number 4, Periphery.
Everything I just said about the last band applies to this band. Copy paste.
Periphery
are the same band.
Visionary guitarist and producer Misha Bulb Mansour leads the massive.
A really boring ass best modern metal bands list. You put everyone who tries to sound like Devin who's not as good as Devin, and you haven't put Devin on the list. Can we get a band that wasn't inspired by Papa Roach?
Periphery formally ushered in the age of gent with that 2000.
Well, 2000s TikTok people think metal is prog metal, death. Is that Guy Fieri? It's all prog metal, deathcore, metalcore. That's it. Every band that they've mentioned so far looks like they've showered in the last 48 hours. That is not metal. This is a little bit better of a choice. A little.
No less elaborate than their genre-bending compositions are profound concept albums, usually consisting of full-length suites. They have the phenomenal musicianship to.
No one wants intelligent concept albums. We want fast songs about beer and pizza and punching zombies in the face. I too like Lamb of God.
Number 2, Ghost.
We're at number 2. I didn't realize we were this far in the video. We're at number 2. They haven't even put Slaughter to Prevail on this list. Holy shit. How did this guy hear about Epica? They haven't said Gojira yet. If that's not number 1, holy shit. I thought for sure that one could be number 1 since they played the Olympics. They haven't said Bloodywood. They haven't said Baby Metal, who I probably wouldn't put on the list anyway, but I'm kind of surprised they're not there. Where's Blood Incantation? Where's Powerwolf? Where's Electric Callboy? Where's Windrose? Where's Sabaton? How is that not on the list? How did Epica get on here but Sabaton didn't? Not in terms of talent or songwriting, in terms of popularity. Sabaton is fucking massive. Where's Batushka? Where's Power Trip, you motherfuckers? You put a fucking cartoon on here, you didn't put Power Trip. Where's Orbit Culture? Holy shit, how's that not on the list? Where's Dark Insanity? Holy shit, they haven't mentioned Sleep Token yet, which would not be on my personal list, but I'm surprised it's not popped up. Holy shit. So we have one more after Ghost. I'm thinking it could either be Sleep Token, maybe Gojira, but it's looking pretty unlikely at this point, or something else terrible. I've said many times before, Ghost confuses me. I was not into them when they first started, and then I saw them at Hellfest 2016, and I thought they were incredible. and I became a huge fan. And that was when their third album was out. And then for the next album is when they decided to stop being a cool doom-ish band and decided to become a pop band. And now they are playing arenas, singing cheering happy songs about Satan to thousands of people across America. I don't get it. I still enjoy some of their older songs, like from the first 3 albums, because I'm just that fucking cool. But no, there's a major sound difference between there. I don't understand it.
By then, the world had embraced the genius behind the gimmicks. With each album,
What the hell is that? What the hell is that? They were actually like kind of spooky and interesting and mysterious at first, and they're like, let's sing and dance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, who does Watch Mojo think is the #1 best modern metal band? Drum roll, please.
notifications. Number 1, Mastodon.
Whoa!
It doesn't get much more singularly metal than Mastodon. Even then,
Did anybody see that coming? That was not even close to the top. I just realized that they were showing them earlier in the video and then they didn't pop up on the list. Wow. I'm kind of speechless here. I don't know what to say because no, worthy of being on the top 20. Sure, maybe. Definitely not a bad band. Very unexpected for this. But number 1? Is it only because you saw them on cable TV and then you're like, oh, what's this heavy sound? Is that metal? And then your boss is like, all right, make a top 20 best metal bands video. No hate to Mastodon, but a very odd choice for number 1 for this particular list. Do you know what I mean? They didn't even mention Sleep Token, Gojira, Avenged Sevenfold. Bands that I thought would definitely be on this list. Not on my top 20, but popular shit. That was weird. See, that's like when you're sitting at Thanksgiving dinner and your aunt's been listing all of these shitty bands like the Contortionist and you're like, oh yeah, you know, it's heavy, sure. And then your preppy cousin quietly goes, do you listen to this band Mastodon? And you go, what? And then you think to yourself, maybe they have acid. That was a fucking shock. Holy shit. That was weird. I'm literally speechless at that one just because it was so unexpected for me. Not my top 20 list, let's say. Some unexpected ones on there. What did you guys think of this list? Do you think these are the 20 best modern current metal bands? Do you have other far better bands you would like to recommend? God, I hope so. Let me know in the comments below. For more from me, check out my band Dark Insanity. You can find us on Instagram, on Spotify, on all of the streaming platforms, on Bandcamp as well. We have our EP Rabid Psychosis out now. This October, we are playing with Carnivore AD at the Whiskey A Go Go in Hollywood. October 16th. Tickets are $25, so hit me or the band up if you'd like one. We've got Why It's Metal and Dark Insanity merch available now in my shop. We've also got hoodies, hats, buttons, stickers. We even have Dark Insanity weed bags. Link is in the description of this video. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.